All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our show that was formerly called POS Uncensored. You see, I still have a logo here, though I did take it off. Matt Proctor, he is watching live, coming in, our former host of the POS Uncensored. And, Matt, I appreciate that. For some reason, I can't share the comments. I'm on a whole new setup. As people can tell, as we've launched in the new year, I've moved my office to a new space. I have a whole new set stuff planned. But what I'm most excited is we're bringing this show. As I announced last week, we are retiring the POS Uncensored brand. That belonged to Robert Kramer and Matt Proctor. And Matt Proctor and I will be doing some shows in the future. But we're going to continue this POS shows here in the future. Today, we're going to be talking with one of our top POS salespeople, one of our just coolest people that we get to work with at PayProTec from Northwest Payment Brokers. On the right-hand side of your screen, at an undisclosed place in the Pacific Northwest, in her car, ready to go sell things. She said, Alicia Gellis. Alicia, how are you? I know I tried to show earlier, I have my dog in the room with me. Your dog is in the car with you. We're just getting all this going. How are you? How is life in the greater Pacific Northwest?
I am terrific. Thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to chat with everyone today. It's a gray, cold day in the Pacific Northwest, but amazingly, it's not raining, so I am a happy human.
It's a it's different parts of gray as we go across the country. We're recording this on January 22nd. Those in the south that are going to drop below zero and get freezing rain, and Nashville, I think, is supposed to get either freezing rain or 10 inches of snow, and Seattle's getting cold, and it's that winter gloomy that I want to get us out of it. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of POS. But let's start by setting up a little bit, Alicia. How did you get into the sales game? How did you get into the payment sales game? Kind of give us a little background of Alicia Gellis and how you got into all this.
Okay, so my entire career has been in sales and marketing. I went to what I like to call Gallo University. That was my first job out of college. I got a business degree and then went to go sell wine for Gallo. And it is one of the best sales training companies that there is, I think, even today. So I feel really lucky that that's how I got to start. I did a few other things. I worked for Coca-Cola. I managed people. I did sales. I did both grocery stores and on-premise. So got to see all different types of businesses, and eventually got tired of commuting into Seattle. And that's literally how I fell into the merchant services industry. I had an opportunity to have a job that was literally 7 minutes from where I lived at the time. And the traffic in Seattle rivals actually LA. So that was a big piece of my decision making. And I interviewed with Amy Lund, who's my boss today, the owner of Northwest Payment Brokers. And it was the time in my life where I just wanted to work for a good person who did what they said they were going to do and does the right thing always. And I took a leap of faith because I had never in my life had a position where it was 100% commission. And I thought, well, you know what? Now's as good a time as any. So I took the leap, and I've been here for 9 years, and it's amazing. I love it. Every day is different. I have some of the most incredible customers that are now friends. I had a milestone birthday during the 9 years that I have been working, and I was able to invite some of my better customers and friends to my birthday party. So it's been a really great career choice. It was tough at first, as everybody knows, but the payoff is incredible. And it's just a really fun job now. And I like it because I'm basically kind of like a consultant to my customers. So it's definitely different, but it is an incredible type of work.
All right. So many questions I want to ask right now, but let's kind of set up first. Undisclosed date. You can just tell everyone you invited all your merchants to your 21st birthday. That was really cool of you to be able to do that. With that milestone birthday, with all the things in the last 9 years doing this, do you remember when you first learned of like full bore point of sale restaurant or retail, and what your first experience with point of sale was as you got into this merchant services game?
Yeah, so I was thinking about that. To my recollection, and I have a terrible memory, so it might not be 100% accurate, but I am pretty sure that my first point of sale customer is actually a hot sauce customer, and they are still my customer, still using hot sauce today, and it's a little Italian restaurant out in Enumclaw called Il Siciliano.
That is awesome. One, that's really cool. So when you went into that, obviously, I'm assuming that Amy. I'm just guessing. I could be wrong. Maybe she threw you into the wolves right away, but that she started you doing some terminals and some more simple setups first. Is that correct? Probably. And so when you got
Yeah,
to
I
that,
mean, the way that she built the company, and she built these partnerships with you guys at PayProTec is really for us to be able to offer anything that a merchant needs. So I have had the luxury of being able to go out and meet merchants. And to me, it doesn't matter what they do for a business. I will have something in my toolbox that I can help them with. I personally do really enjoy the point of sales. They are a totally different animal. Um, and I think with our entire office, I have touched most, if not all, of our point of sale companies just because they are a little bit of a different animal. It's not as simple, at least if you want it to go smoothly, it's not quite as simple as a terminal. But yeah, each one is a very unique adventure.
and I do. Matt is sharing there. Yeah. I'm trying to find. There it is. He says that he was the one who sold that first. He's
He
trying.
did.
That take Alicia sold it. You were just the consultant to help as a POS pro, Matt. Let's be honest on that. No, but when putting in a hot saucer, there's so many more steps, so many more pieces. You've got menus, and you've got so many than just coming in and putting a terminal, and maybe they have a few user IDs and a few things that can go on there. Do you remember, like, what were some of the things that you wish that 9 year ago, 12-year-old Alicia would have known versus 21-year-old Alicia? What were some of those things that you wished about POS that you would have known about?
Well, I have to say, like having the POS Pros team and Matt then made my life so easy because I have never needed to be an expert in point of sales because you guys provide those expertise, whether it's directly with the actual point of sale and they take the lead on it, or if it's through the POS Pros. So they made it easy then and they make it easy now. I think over the years, sorry, my little co-pilot is ready to move to his bed instead of his seat. um, I think I make their lives a little bit easier than I used to because I am familiar with it now. And so I can help lead the conversation and help kind of pre-sell. So all they have to do is come in and kind of help me land the deal. But I truly working with the POS Pros team back in the day, I didn't need to be an expert and it was an easy sell anyway because the systems when we get to do a demo really truly sell themselves.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. I didn't tell you I was going to ask these questions. I'm going to throw some of it, but talk about what is you found to find the important part of that process, like when you get to a demo or getting them to the demo, which is really an important part. What are some of the things that you found that you are reusing time after time? Each one's a unique fit, but you're reusing certain tools to help the sales process move along. Are there things that stand out to you about that when you're selling the POS specifically versus selling just a terminal?
I think getting an understanding of what the customer's expectation is, some people, most people are already in a point of sale of some kind. So then it's a matter of finding out what are their pain points and what is forcing the change. Do they actually want something that is different than their system because they know how they function is antiquated? Or are they looking for something that is newer, but as close as possible to what they're used to? And it really just like if business owners want to do dual pricing or cash discount or surcharge, those kinds of answers all sit, from my perspective, directly with the owner and how they feel about things. Um, so I think really just kind of getting an idea on that so that I can try to tee up the POS Pros team to help give us the right demo. Um, whether it's going to be Greta or Paradise or Hot Sauce or Quick, the more information that I can gather and be specific about what the business owner's needs are helps that team set me up so that we're kind of doing one and done demo. But the other advantage to POS Pros is sometimes it's really nice to be able to offer options. So rather than having a business owner say yes or no to this particular system, I get to be able to say, would you like A or would you like B, which is an amazing position to be in as a salesperson.
So let's talk. Let's go to maybe a little more of the ugly of some. What are some of the, like, we'll call them speed bumps, hurdles, things that could become a little more difficult, and even sometimes blow up whole deals? What are some of the things that you found that are a little more of a struggle when it comes to the POS, that you have learned maybe even how to fix them, but also some of them maybe what things to stay away from? You're like, man, I'm not going to do a merchant that does this. Are there some of those road blocks and issues that you've come across? We
Yeah.
call it the ugly side of POS sometimes.
I don't know that I've found a reason not to work with somebody yet, but a few key learnings that I have made along the way. The first is before I ever leave after the demo, I go and walk the stations as to where our equipment is going to sit so that the merchant understands this is how many plugs I need for power. This is how much Ethernet cable I need, or what the Wi-Fi situation is, because power and Ethernet, while they're not our system, they can significantly affect our systems. So, and they're things that myself and my team, we are not techies. We do not want to be running Ethernet cables. So, to make sure that the merchant understands what they need to provide, it may be the same and it may be different from what they currently have. Those, I think, are big learnings. And then the other piece is to really get an understanding of their menu. Either that or make sure that they are bought in on the menu review process, because all of our partners are amazing. We can send in pictures of their menu and they can build it from scratch. But the piece that comes with that is modifiers aren't necessarily on the menu. How most servers interact with their customers can be very unique. One of the other major learnings that I have is every single point of sale customer thinks that they are like every other business out there. And the fact is, they are not. They are all unique. So I think also from my perspective, just knowing that they are all very unique, they can be like, oh, I'm just like the guy down the street. I promise you, when you go to do the install and you go live, they are not. They have unique things about the way they function, whether it's opening their business for the day or closing out their till at the end of the night, how they split tips, or just simply their menu. I guarantee you they're unique. And there's things that you haven't thought about. So also to just be able to roll with the punches and have a system with a support team that can work with you and work through that. Those are some of the pieces that have made me most successful, because the partners that you guys choose to work with are like that and have been phenomenal to work with.
Awesome. All right, we're going to take a little bit of a right turn, and I'm going to see if I can make this work here. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let's see. I may. Shoot, I'm not going to be able to do it. I was trying. Whoops, hold on. Maybe.
What are you up to, Nate?
Well, I was trying. Okay, yep, I am. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to share some pictures here. Let me get the full screen. So I don't know all that's on my screen. So I'm going to get full screen on that. We're going to share my secondary display over here. Well, maybe not. Hold on. See, this is me trying to do something live that I should have tested ahead of time of how to do this. But I didn't. I couldn't find this right off the bat. I wanted to show. Okay, so I'm going to try this one more time. Hold on. I'm going to go full screen on me. All right. I apparently need to reboot my computer in order to do that. So I was trying to show a picture of Brian Linke, and I will put
Oh,
this on putting on a jersey. I have a video of it. I have it on my other screen, but I couldn't do it. Of Brian Linke putting on a football jersey. Can you tell me what football jersey this was? What helmet this was? I'll probably try to share some. I don't know what I'm going to do with this video, but I'm going to pull up on my phone.
Nate, I would love to.
So tell me about the Seattle Majestics and the jersey that I'm going to try to even show maybe in a second here, because it's something I love learning about what our partners do and what they do outside of payments. Tell us about the Seattle Majestics.
Absolutely. So I think almost 6 years ago now, my best friend, who I love to be active with and work out with, said, "Hey, friend, I found this great sport that we should get into. It's women's professional football." And I was like, I need to get into shape again. Coming out of the winter, need to lose a few pounds. So I got involved in a women's tackle professional football team called the Seattle Majestics. Seattle Majestics are part of the WNFC, which is a national league that plays NCAA rules football. So we are out there just like the college boys, hitting, tackling. It's exactly the same. So I played for 3 years. I had never played football in my life before I walked onto the field, but I had played rugby. So being able to hit and tackle and just take a person out, I know how that feels, and I know how gratifying that is. So it was really fun. I ended up being a right guard. I feel like I was probably one of the smallest right guards, which is crazy because I do not think of myself as a small person. And the year that we met you guys down in Vegas, the Majestics were playing the weekend after that conference. So I had all my gear with me. I had my helmet, my pads, my jersey, and yeah, Brian Linke was just amazed by it all and tried it on. So I'm still with the team. I did retire as a player 2.5 years ago, and now I'm just the CEO of our organization because, as you may or may not know, but women's sports is really an emerging market. And so we have a team full of ladies that play football because it's something they're passionate about. The league is not, and the sport is not at the point yet where we can pay our players, but that is something that we hope to be able to do within the next, I would say, 2 to 5 years, if not sooner. And it's a phenomenal experience. Our season is kicking up. We actually have our first in-season practice this coming Monday. Our first game is at the end of March. The season is the regular season is 8 weeks long. And then we have a postseason. We have a national championship that we call the 9 Cup. It's legit football. So if you love sports or you love football or you love women's sports, please check out the WNFC. All of our games, all 16 teams have their games streamed on something called Victory Plus. It does not require a subscription, so you can check it out for free. And of course, no matter where you live in the country, we think that you should support the Seattle Majestics. So check it out, theseattlemajestics.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook, all the social media things. And it's a really good time, and you see a lot of passion, and you see a lot of actually really good football, which some people are surprised by, but it's legit. It's really legit.
Okay, and I'm making a commitment. I have been saying for a while that I want to get to a game. So let's see. I think I'm going to have to work to get the camera to focus, but there we go. That's Brian Linke putting on the jersey. I do have video, but I won't do that. Let's see. Here we go. This is a little more. I think we gave up putting the jersey on because he just couldn't get his shoulders up or something, I think. But this is the final look of Brian Linke wearing a Seattle Majestics. And I told Alicia just a few minutes ago that I had ordered a number 77 jersey with my name on it, which will be coming soon. I will wear it proudly of Seattle Majestics. One, we don't have a team in Indianapolis, so I don't have any, but that is my team, and I'm going to get to a game. I've got to. I just want to support it. It's so awesome. And I love the flexibility that payments and being a sales consultant and doing it, it allows you to do other things outside of and be able to put some investment in building a new professional sports league. I mean, really, you're at the ground, you're at the right spot in women's sports right now, and to be able to do that in football. So tell me a little bit about some of the skills that maybe are that work on both sides that made you successful in joining a football team and then even now being CEO and helping run the football team versus what's made you successful as selling POS and merchant services.
Absolutely. So I really think if anybody has played sports in their life, they're just the dynamics of being on, definitely on a team, typically gives you the skill set to manage people, be a mentor, be a leader. And in my personal opinion, I think if you can manage people, you're basically in sales because it's all about getting people to buy in on your ideas, or helping them get to wherever it is that you want them to go. And that is all the same thing. Like every single day, I am out here meeting with business owners, trying to help them make their business situation better than it was before I walked in the door. So all of those skills, I think, are 1,000,000% transferable. And that is, and I grew up playing soccer, being in sports, riding horses. Obviously, I played rugby in college, as I mentioned. So I think that helped set me up for a good sales career. And then I think how I got from merchant services into helping run the team is truly my sales skills. So I joined the team. I realized that there were teammates that had far more football experience than I did and really should be out there instead of me, but they weren't traveling with us because they literally couldn't afford to travel. So I went to the admin at the time and I said, hey, what can I do to help? And are we selling sponsorships? And they were like, no, sure, yeah, please. And I said, great. What do you got? And they were like, what do you need? Anyway, long story short, my second year on the team, I had a bunch of my customers that had decided to help support me in the football league and in the team, and help me get where I wanted to go and help me help my teammates. So I started selling sponsorships. And then, of course, when you're good at something, people want you to do it some more. So it went from just me helping out with the organization to them asking me to step in and be the CEO, because just kind of educating people, getting people excited about what we do, and then asking for their support is something that I just am inherently built to do. And I think I'm pretty decent at it. So there you go. That's where we are. We're just trying to make the organization something that's successful. The players really bring their talent and their skill set to give us the product that is an amazing product to watch and gets our fans excited and grows our fan base. So all of those skills are really transferable, and I think have made me what I am today, a CEO of a women's professional tackle football team and the director of sales at Northwest Payment Brokers, with my own portfolio inside of an amazing company that I couldn't imagine doing what I do for anybody else anywhere else.
We love Northwest Payment Brokers. We love what the team that you guys have built and put together there. And what we also have loved is how you've embraced working with like POS pros. I remember being out there and helping train with Robert Kramer back, man, I remember because it was 2020. It was February. It was like one of my last trips before COVID shut down the next month, and been able to be in the office and be with your team and Amy and all. You guys are awesome, and we love supporting you. What do you think as you look toward the future especially on the POS side? What are things that excite you about POS? What do you think are some opportunities for you to continue to grow? Are there things that excite you that you're, as you know, whether it's kiosk technology or RFID technology and NFC, or are there things that are exciting to you that you want to kind of grow and continue to learn more on?
Absolutely. So I think my favorite thing about dealing with point of sales is the technology is getting better and better exponentially because you have software developers that are involved. And so it's kind of like the difference between, I think of terminals as corporate companies, because it takes much longer for whatever reason for the technology, at least this is in my opinion, for the technology on a basic terminal to evolve. Whereas the point of sales, like there are new ones coming out every day, the technology within them, what they can do, how they can customize, and what they can build and offer a different merchant can change all the time. One of my favorite things about working with Quick is their ability to customize and just really meet the needs of the customer. So just having that potential out there that can change in the blink of an eye and can profoundly impact a business owner's ability to do business and do business efficiently, like that is probably what excites me the most about working with point of sales, for sure.
So as we close out, my closing question to you is this: if you're going to talk to people that are just getting into this merchant services game and are really not even trying to do point of sale, they're not trying to go after restaurants or retail that have a lot of SKUs and trying to replace systems or introduce new systems, and they're kind of scared of it. What would you say to them to encourage them to consider trying and working through what are some hiccups? They're not as easy, and there are a lot more bells and whistles and a lot more work sometimes. But why should they consider selling point of sale?
I would say literally just because you have the POS pros team, that is something that most people that do what we do for a living don't even come close to having. And it's just a phenomenal tool in your tool belt. And so you don't have to know everything because you have a team behind you, next to you, really helping you get it done, showing you how to do it, answering all of those questions. So I would say don't be afraid to lean on them and just start slow. You have to start somewhere. And for me specifically, I have always found that being open and honest and transparent with my merchants is really the best way to go. So don't be afraid to tell them that this is something that is new to you, right? The point of sales that we work with and the POS Pros team has been around a long time. So you can share that. Just because this might be your first or second deal doesn't mean it is theirs. In fact, I guarantee it is not. So don't be afraid to give that little bit of honesty to your merchant so that you're setting appropriate expectations, and that gives you a little bit of grace, because at the end of the day, we're all people. We all want each other to be successful. And so I have found that, like, if you're just honest with people, they give you a little bit more grace. And as long as you're in there doing what you say you're going to do and trying your best and honestly, like, keeping open communication going on, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised as to how well things go, the success that you have, and to the point that you made earlier today, these merchants will stick with you. So what they may be a little bit tougher to sell, the selling cycle might be a little bit longer, but the amount of time that they stick around and how sticky literally those customers are to you and your portfolio is undeniable.
Awesome. Well, Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing from your expertise and just a little bit on a little behind the behind the scenes of the Seattle Majestics and all you're doing there. And I just think it's so cool. I love seeing how successful our partners are, not just in payments, not just in helping merchants across the U.S. and in Pacific Northwest, but also really launching a whole new professional league that I believe will have some success, and I can't wait to see what happens. And I'm a huge Seattle Majestics fan. So let's go out and get the nine. What's the championship game called? The Nines, you said?
The Nine Cup.
Nine Cup. And why is it called the Nine Cup? So I know, so I can be educated.
For Title IX, because Title IX was bringing women's sports in. Yep.
Okay, totally makes sense. And maybe I would have come up with that with a few more seconds. But I love that. So, but I don't know why I was going with. I was trying to figure out. I was not going with Title IX, but that totally makes sense. I love that. That's awesome. So
yeah,
I was going the wrong direction on the nines, and I was like, man. Nines, they really are, the 90 numbers were always the tackles, so they really wanted, All right.
No, Title IX, women's sports, women's
Yep.
equality. But thank you so much, Nate. This has been a real pleasure, and I would love to join you guys any other time.
Oh, we'll bring you guys back on. Amy had been on Office Hours. Now Alicia from Northwest Virginia Brokers has been on POS Uncensored. And as if we launch another show, then we'll have to put you guys on yet another show. So we're so thankful. We're always here to support you. Thank you so much. Closing words. Let me just go a couple things for those who are watching this before February 3rd, 2025, 8:30 p.m. and you're going to be in Boston and you're probably attending the Northeast. Either you're in the Boston area and just want to come see us, which is great, and maybe we'll get somebody to put on a football jersey for you. But we're going to be hosting a dinner that Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. So please join us. We really want to see you, and we should see an email here coming out about it soon. So make sure you're RSVP so we know you're coming. If you're going to be at the NEAA show, we'll have transportation from the Encore Casino and Hotel to the Union, the oldest seafood restaurant in the United States, the Union Oyster House. It's really, really good. And then there's a couple other things that we're going to do afterwards that would be fun. We just can't wait to hang out with our partners and get to be able to celebrate you, what you do, and learn a little more how we can work together and even grow more. On behalf of Alicia Gellis, I'm Nate Manahan. We're so thankful you watched today, and we'll see you next time on POS Uncensored. Oh, I forgot the last thing. Also, it's not called POS Uncensored anymore. If you know of a name, email nate@PayProTec.com. I need a new name, and I'm giving a $100 Amazon gift card if I choose your name. I've gotten 3 recommendations. They didn't make me real excited yet, but I was glad I got them. So I said, send me another one. Go to ChatGPT. Come on. I'm not brainstorming. Eventually I will come up, but I want to come up with a new name for the show that's just about interviewing people that are selling POS. So send it to me. Thank you, Alicia. Bye, everybody. We'll see you. All right.
Awesome.